All right, so God doesn't help those who don't help themselves. You gotta always keep in mind and remember that if you're not in a position where you're actually putting in the minutes, the seconds, the hours, the days, the weeks, the months, the years, however it looks like to get to that goal of yours, because for the most part, God already gives you the ability to do everything if you just have the thought and the feeling of you wanting to do it. So you could already do anything and everything. But if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna expect some disembodied mind out there to come down and help you from wherever you're at, from you praying from a position of being weak, from a position of lacking, from a position of needing, from a position of wanting help, and you better believe it's gonna happen. Oh, that shit's gonna happen. It's gonna come down quick. But guess what? It won't be the God of gods. It won't be the King of kings. It won't be the source of this holographic reality. It's gonna be some mini expression of it that's gonna see you in the position that you is, and they're gonna come and fulfill that prayer for you in whatever form of need of help. And since you already have that intention set in your mind as far as an ideal that you worship, that you're waiting for this image, this cloud, this particular thought and feeling to come fulfill your void, it's going to actually come in the form of a person, place, or thing, an organization, a government, and they're going to come, you're damn right, they're going to come give you what you needed, help, but it's going to come at a price. This is why a lot of people say when the government says, oh, we're here to help, that means that's when you should be running, because the government is never really there to help. They're always really just there to govern your mentality and govern your mind and make sure that your mind is being redirected through the conscious awareness that they're going to be throwing out into the public with their magic wand system, aka their religion, their entertainment, their politics, their news media, whatever, however they decide to do it and things like that. So whenever you sit back, damn, is this thing recording? Okay, this thing's recording. It was frozen there for a second. But that's why you got to keep in mind, though, that God doesn't help those who don't help themselves. So you're always going to get a mini God, a mini deity, a middleman to tell you, oh, look, here, if you do this thing this way, you're going to be able to see the next dude, which is God. But really, it's just a middleman salesman that plotted the property between your travels, between here, let's say we go from the Middle East to Spain, and then you get to North Africa, and then the middleman there tells you, yeah, so you gotta take my boat, you gotta take my ship in order for you to get to Spain, and yeah, that's where God is at. So, but you could have went through North Africa, you could have went through, I forgot what's it called, the Strait of Gibraltar or whatever. So and you can, in fact, you could have went through Turkey, you could have went through Italy all the way to Spain. But you let someone else govern your mind and tell you the possibilities of how you're gonna get there based on how they already constructed it and things like that, and made it look in the world, made it look pretty and things like that, so you can fall into that and follow their ways of doing it, which you're pretty much just building up their structure, their Saturn matrix, and you're we're basically building their structure, their infrastructure, and that's the business. That's the SIM card system. That's the insurance plans that they have that you don't have access to, based on them being individuals on a certain level, and them being a brotherhood, and them being on certain interests that are behind closed doors that the average person is not, let in on. So they come and fulfill that image of whatever you're praying to. That's why, like, God pretty much won't help you unless you really are trying to help yourself, because that's when God, aka the universe, can give you the energies, can give you the ideas, the thoughts and feelings you need, so you can start to build a scalar wave ladder, so you can get to that goal. Because you just have to take one step forward, and then God will take another step and show you this, show you that, through all possibilities. But if you're limited, and if you feel limited instead of unlimited, if you feel dumb instead of intelligent and smart, because can nobody put uh you know a cap on intelligence or a certain definition on it, because intelligence comes in so many different ways. You got artists that were called very intelligent for the lyrical ways they were able to put words together. You got artists being called genius for the way they put colors on a canvas. You got designers being called geniuses for their clothes and what has inspired in people and how many people have invested in that brand as far as monetary funds and things like that. And so there's a lot of ways to be a genius and things like that. And chances are, you're already a genius in a particular arena. But since you're still, because God doesn't know what's going on down here, that's what you got to keep in mind. So when God sees you, aka your mind, and the portal that you're creating, that you're spinning in, is one of fear, worry, doubt, and anxiety. God, whatever is in that atmosphere is a form of particles that can assist you in being fearful, anxious, worried. That's gonna come into you, right into your system, physical, as far as atmospheric dust that someone might put up there in the clouds, or just sheds light on density that you take in and your body convert. Because the body's an energy converter and things like that. So because it's all about perception, it's all about beliefs, it's all about these things affect your biology, these things affect your mind and things like that. And so if you're just simply in a better mind state than somebody else, while you guys eat some candy product that's, let's just say, chemicalized, and I made a new word, chemicalized, but that product might have so many chemicals in it. But if you're in a good state of mind, your body's gonna take those chemicals and actually try to build something to assist you with your goal, rather than depositing as fat and excess sugar, and giving you a spike and then an extreme low and things like that. So your body is listening to you, and so is God. God is also listening to you. But you got to remember that God is not going to help you with nothing that you're not ready to help yourself in. And when you're helping yourself, you're going to see help come to you in so many different ways. At that point, you're just going to have to pick which route you want to get to your goal and things like, because God's gonna be, oh look, you can get your goal this way. Oh look, you can get your goal this way. And in this world, the shadow government, the Masons, and them, they make it look like it's not possible. They make it look like it's difficult. They make it look like, nah, this can't be done your way. You gotta come do it our way. AKA, you gotta reach God through the church. You gotta go to that concession stand. You gotta pray. You gotta go hit the mosque. You gotta pray 5 times a day and things like that. But they're just controlling the word and directing your attention through their intellectual properties, which they have accumulated or have taken over from other, let's just say, people who had prophetic visions or were divinely inspired. But you can have prophetic visions too, and divinely inspired too, of your future. But you got to be so rooted into your version of the future that you want to create, to the point that anybody else that look at you, they're like, yeah, this person is crazy. But you're actually just really anchored into a version of reality that you created in your mind, that you're actually using all your resources, your mind, body, and spirit, in order to coil that in and soak in that fluid esoterically, spiritually, so you can start to create that reality. Because once you can create a feeling, once you can create a subsidiary a subsidiary a subsidiary no, it's not even now. Once you can just drop down one of the many versions of the reality that you want to create, because there's many of them. There's one where you're broke, there's one where you're rich, there's one where you're the leader of the world, there's one where you're the biggest loser of the world. So if you can get in contact with that version of yourself and you can anchor it here, you start to see the many different ways that you can create that. But it all starts with a feeling, and really the physical things don't even matter. What matters is that you're in that state of being, aka that state of mind, which produce your life. Because once you have a thought and a feeling, that bends in, that creates an action, that creates certain reactions, that creates patterns of power and things like that. And the more you can, aka habits, and the more that you can soak in those thoughts and feelings that are delicious, extra heavenly, juicy, and things like that, you'll be able to anchor in those versions of reality, and you'll have a whole new way of talking. You'll have a whole new tone. You have a whole new mannerisms. You have a whole new body language and all these things. But it all come from God, and it all come from you participating with the shit that you say you want to participate with. Because if you're choosing every day to jack off and do all this shit to yourself, then that's what God's gonna give you more of. More frustrations, more things like that. So you need to choose basically what you want to participate on a conscious level, and not be so rooted and so docile to change from your subconscious stuff. You thinking that you have no power over these figures that you created in your mind, these characters that come and stimulate your motor functions for you to take a particular set of actions, and then you might start to really hate yourself for being the same person that you was last year. But just keep in mind that it all starts with a thought and a feeling, and it all starts with you detaching from that previous mind and you creating a whole new self-image, a whole new awareness in a whole different area in the mental realm, and then you begin to give that orb more energy, more thoughts, more feelings, more time, and soon it'll outgrow this orb and your old habits, the old people you used to hang out with. All that's gonna fall off, but you're gonna have to be in that fight, not to assimilate back into that old reality, that old realm that you was trying to escape in the first place. Because all that's gonna happen is in your next body, your next lifetime, when you die, when you come back here, you're gonna be like, oh God, please, I just need one more chance, God, one more chance. God's gonna be like, oh, okay, see, I told you, okay then. But it's gonna be harder, it's gonna be tougher, because now you added so much thoughts and feelings to that fluid, to that orb, to that mind, that now it's heavier for you to even get out of it. But that was the same holistic mind that chances are you are trying to get out of in other lifetimes, but you may have failed and things like that. So hopefully this video made you more aware of, that the universe, God, is literally conspiring for whatever the hell you want. If you want to be depressed, God, hey, God support that shit. If you want to be happy, yo, God support that shit. If you want to be lazy, yo, God support that shit. Because it's all just different aspects and parts of God. And then, God is nor good or evil. God is nor light or darkness. God is just a holistic being. And you need to understand yourself holistically and not just divide yourself from the inside and then wonder, if you're going to keep dividing yourself, wonder why you're not able to connect the different minds that you have into one holistic being. And all that really means is just you not playing out a mentality of you just being separated. If you just seeing different parts of you as separate and you wanting to deal with them one by one. No, God is a whole. You don't even need to be in that realm of reality in the first place. You can just focus and soak in, anchor in that mind, that version of yourself, and that can help you get outside of the current one you're dealing with. And so it's that simple, but it's also that difficult because the universe literally gonna support whatever the hell you have on your mind as a state of being that you choose to sustain and things like that. Real shit.